is the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. The fans are filling the seats in Orlando, the site of our broadcast, and where the Magic will be going up against the Washington Wizards. And guys, for the Wizards,
we're in the place they call the Amway Center in downtown Orlando, Florida. It's the home of the... Let's get a quick pregame update from David Aldridge.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion.
Thank you, David. And this one features, Chris, two of the more athletic teams in the league. That makes a pretty good setup for us tonight.
Oh, this is the perfect father-son, mother-daughter family game to go to. This is one of those games you'll enjoy and remember your whole life. I mean, the highlights, you'll remember where you were. Something special is going to happen tonight. Trust me.
So look at the starters for the Wizards. Morris and Gortat together down low. A great scoring pair of wings. Beal the 2, Porter the 3, and it's Wall in at the 1. Now the feed to Gortat. Fournier against Beal. An easy 2 points on the layup. Beal's got the game going here with the first basket for the Wizards.
Oh, I like watching Bill go to town inside. He has a great understanding for how to score close to the bucket.
Ring shot on the way. Vucevic with the bucket. And so it's Washington with it. Outside, Wall. Over Augustine. Wall, no luck. And it's the Magic with the ball. Augustine with it. He's picked up by Wall. Augustine against Wall. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. A lot of history here with the Wizards and Washington. A lot of great players have worn the jersey, yourself included, Chris. Do you have a favorite Wizard or Bullet player you like to watch?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did. Juwan Howard. I love watching him go to work in that great All-Star season that he had. Wes Unseld. He's had a huge influence on so many bigs. Elvin Hayes, I mean, his name is all over the franchise record book. So many players. John Wall now.
First free throw is good. And so he makes both from the line.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Now the Wizards with it. Out to the right wing. And there's the pass to Gortat. Back to Wall. Knocks down the 3 ball.
You got to get a hand up from Wall outside. He definitely has the touch to knock down these perimeter shots.
And Augustine kicks to Ross. Pick by Vucevic. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, and you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back.
Shoots from the baseline. Pass to Augustine. Back to Vucevic. Shoots over Gortat. Vucevic with the bucket. Vucevic has got his second bucket of the game to go.
Working the in-between area, the kind of look that can get you into a rhythm early.
Yeah, I think he was surprised. He was so open. And That's just a defensive break now.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
If you're talking about the elite passes in the game, John Wall has to be on that list. He's averaged a double-double with assists for several years running. He has vision and knows how to find teammates after defenses collapse on him.
And with Wall and his passing last season, Chris, he became the all-time franchise leader in assists for the Wizards.
And I believe that it was Wes Unsell's record that he broke. I mean, that's great company to be in. Those two had different ways to get their assists, but both great passers. You get the feeling Wall can still get better.
And the first one at the line is good.
I love the attitude of this young man, John Wall. He plays with a real passion, and for his teammates, it's infectious. He makes them better, too.
So he gets them both. I think everyone can now agree that John Wall is one of the better point guards in the NBA.
No doubt. At this point, when you factor in his production, he's got to be in the top 5, if not top 3 guards in the league. One of the better passers we have as well. It's just hard to find guards that can create so easily the way Wall can.
Moss, that's good. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Morris a screen. Gortat with a screen on Ross. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Buries the long-range jumper. Wall's got 8 points.
Look, that wide frame of Gortat hits defenders hard. He's superb at clearing out space for his teammates.
Here's Vucevic, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And you look at the post-up bangers who don't block shots at a high level. More and more, we're seeing teams relegate them to that 6-man role off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how that affects a guy like Vucevic, who fits that description.
First one falls for him. Greg, why is it, do you think, that teams want those more floor-bound, post-up big men like Vucevic coming off the bench?
I think 2 things. First of all, their defensive shortcomings are less exposed playing against other reserves. Also, their ability to create offense on the block has more value with that second unit because that group tends to have their struggles in terms of scoring the basketball. And since Dwight Howard back in 2012, the rebuild effort just has languished here in Orlando, unable really to draft any superstar talent. And last season, trades for veteran talent didn't really move the needle either.
Orlando, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Here's Fournier, sinks that one from the post. Now here's Wall. He's got 8. And Greg, when you look at the Magic, do you see a plan or a roadmap here?
Well, you look at that trade for Serge Ibaka going into last season, and that was probably a sign that ownership was growing impatient. They wanted to cash in their chips and really go for it. And now they might need a rebuild from that rebuild.
You're right. Here's Fournier. Morris with the rebound.
Does well to burrow his way into the post, but loses his touch on the finish.
That bucket in no time at all. Beal's got 5 now.
And look, if you back off of Bill, he'll school you. He's straight up with his pull-up. You better be in his grill at all times.
Wall against Augustine. He dishes it to Ross. 6 to shoot. Picked by Vucevic. 3-pointer Augustine. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusting.
Here's Wall. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Augustine. He's got 5. Kicks it to Gordon. Pass to Vucevic. Back to Gordon. A three-pointer off the mark. For Washington, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. 1:32 left here in the opening quarter. Gortat with a screen on Fournier. Outside, Wall. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Washington trailing. And it's Beal in the corner. It's good from long range. 8 points for him.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And Augustine kicks to Fournier. Vucevic setting the pick for Fournier. Lays it up and banks it in. Fournier's got his second bucket of the night.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Punch, counter punch. Neither club's been able to sustain an advantage.
Beal against Fournier. There's a screen by Gortat. Beal can't get it to go.
The D a little slow to get in his face. They're fortunate it didn't cost.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Beal against Fournier. Vucevic down low. He has 6. Gortat with the rebound. Oh, and here we go. Wall's got it. The fast break chance. The shot's good. Wall's got 10.
Wall is so smooth off the dribble. I mean, he's showing how effortless his speed and then finishing with the jumper once again.
John Wall getting it done for Washington. He got to double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Right back after this break. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but said his mother introduced him to the game of basketball at a young age.
She definitely put the ball in my hand. She's the one who taught me my form, my follow through, and still to this day, she yells at me if I miss a shot. So she's kind of a perfectionist, and she definitely taught me how to shoot. She can shoot it, and she still to this day thinks she can shoot better than me.
Maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom, because she has definitely honed something special into him.
To be sure. I'm just not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash talking once she beats them in a game of horse.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Through that first one, they turned this thing into a track beat.
I'll tell you what, when you allow them to speed up the tempo, there's a good chance you're going to fall behind.
Hezonja's out there with Isaac. Then it's Simmons. And there's Bismack Biyombo. And it's Mack in at the point guard. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic.
What's up, gentlemen?
Free throw good for Morris. And Chris, you've been working as an analyst now for quite some time. Do you feel that how you view and enjoy the game has changed as you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth?
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I've learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious that you have the same glaring weaknesses that you had the year before. Even if you're not on the team that can compete for a championship, you want to make sure that you compete for a championship, that you compete for an all-star, that you compete to have your name out there. And so a lot of times we'll watch some of those teams, and I love seeing that they compete or if they laid it down early in the season. So, no, I would say that really what gives me an advantage is that the way that I looked at the game, and hopefully, that gives me a unique perspective when I'm out there trying to talk to other basketball heads like myself.
Passes to Satoransky. It's stolen by Mack. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. Satoransky. Let's go down to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Orlando Magic do have a stacked front court. They've got plenty of size. Head coach Frank Vogel said, in today's small ball NBA, we think we can beat the heck out of teams in the paint. But shooting has been a hindrance. He conceded he might have to win some games, 68 to 65. Kevin?
Going against the grain, DA. Thank you. Here's Simmons. Lays it in off the breakaway. Simmons got his second bucket of the night. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you can hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Here's Morris. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Well, you look at Markieff Morris and you see a player, Greg, who is finally meeting his potential.
And you know what? Give credit to Morris because he's fallen in line with the team and the staff here. I think he's always had the talent to be an impact player. It just took a structured situation for him to really flourish, and I think he's found a home here in Washington.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And you look back to last season, the Wizards started slow, but something clicked for them halfway through the year, Chris, and they were able to turn things around.
But just when all the talk about how the Wizards should rebuild, it seems like they pulled it together. They took some time to get things right with the new coach, and the lead stripe on the team disappeared once they started winning.
Now here's Mack. He's covered closely. Here's Simmons. That one misses, and the Wizards now going the other way. Now here's Meeks, guarded by Simmons, with the fadeaway. Orlando grabs the miss. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. There's Azania. He's guarded by Meeks. Up top, Simmons. Just 5 to shoot. Launches it. Simmons missing again. The Wizards with the lead. And the pass to Satoransky. Wants to get it to Morris and does. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Morris is such a gifted scorer in the paint. He utilizes both his height and weight to get deep inside.
Back on top, there's the pick. Feeds it to Biombo. Here's Isaac, defended by Scott. Puts it up from 7. Got it. He's now 3 for 5 from the field.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Meeks dishes to Morris. Biombo with the block. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Mack leading the charge. Here's Isaac. Nice D from Scott.
That was as easy as it gets. He needs to complete those looks.
Out to the wing. Meeks on the wing. Guarded by Simmons. Takes the 13-footer. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. There are a lot of players who seemingly have ice in their veins when the game is on the line. They do not blink. When you think about those kind of players, who might be the most mentally tough in the league right now?
Wow, it's so hard to tell who really is mentally tough because you don't know what these guys are thinking. But I know who looks like just cold, stone, just merciless players out there, and that's Kawhi Leonard because you never know. You know, Kawhi is a nice guy, but, you know, he'll shoot a shot that'll end the game and then just give you such a cold look. And I think Isaiah Thomas is that way. I mean, I think so many players, of course, LeBron, Curry have been that way their whole career. But Kawhi Leonard seems to be that next coming of ice in his veins.
That's good for Meeks.
And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Gortat's checked in for Morris. Bradley Beal comes in for Kelly Oubre, and it's John Wall in for Satoransky. Good on both. And if you're running the Magic, Greg, what's the roadmap to contention?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to have to start through the draft. I mean, you've got to be able to get core pieces there. And then you want to continue to add perimeter shooting and focus on developing your young talent based on the way the game is played today.
And Beal kicks the wall. Outside, Beal. And again, Washington no good. The Magic trail by 3. And here's Fournier. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
Anybody see any defensive presence on that play? I mean, he's not going to blow that layup. It was wide open.
Gortat with a screen on Fournier. Wall got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds to the Wizards as Washington retains possession. Vucevic, he's checked in for the Magic. And a switcher also for Washington. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Jody Meeks. .149 left in the second quarter. Ed Beal kicks to Scott. Just 5 on the clock. Gortat with the screen for Wall. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Wall's got 12 in the game.
And the IQ of Wall is impressive. And when you mix it with the speed, it's just a nightmare to handle in the screen and roll.
Augustine passes to Vucevic. That's in. Augustine with the assist. That's now 8 points for Vucevic.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Wall dishes to Porter. They set the screen. Beal from long range, and no good. And Orlando the other way now.
Well, it appears as though he has lost his touch a little after connecting on 2 in the first quarter.
Augustine against Wall. Dishes it to Gordon. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. And Beal kicks the Wall. Nice ball movement by Washington. Gortat, the pass to Beal. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. 10 points for him.
Look, at times, there's no defense for Beal. Even if you're in his jersey, he keeps his shot high so you can't get to it.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. The dish to Fournier. Back to Vucevic. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure. Here's Wall. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Wizards lead by 1. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Nick. Obviously, very tough out there. What's your mindset?
Just want to come out and not aggressive and just play hard on defense, getting stops. They're a great team, so they're not going to quit. They're going to keep playing. We just have to keep getting stops and keep believing that we can win this game, and good things will happen again.
I know that's what Coach is going to preach in the second half. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output from both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
They played aggressive, lockdown defense. That was the main difference in the first half. Because when you come out and establish that you're going to play physical, that sets the tone for the rest of the game. On top of that, I think they showed more energy, outworking and out-hustling.
Shaq, what'd you think about Orlando?
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
Welcome back, folks. The downtown skyline of Orlando, Florida, looking especially striking tonight. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Look at John Wall. What a contribution so far.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, right. I mean, the defense hasn't had an answer for this guy yet. Just too skilled, too driven thus far.
Here is Porter. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Well, we've got a moment left set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Washington, the deadly duo of Wall and Beal are in the backcourt. Morris and Gortat together down low. And it's Porter at the small forward. Now the feed to Fournier. High post Vucevic. Vucevic's screen on Porter. No good from Ross.
Defensively, they could have done better. That's an open look he'd like to have back.
And it's the little things that Marcin Gortat is so good at that helps you at that center position. His awareness of space, strong in the pick and roll, and also a solid finisher at the rim.
Wizards leading by 3. Beal from long range drills it from outside. Beal's got 13.
Oh, that's just the fast hands of Beal. You can't be careless around him. He'll strip you in a heartbeat.
And Augustine kicks to Fournier. Gordon dishes to Augustine. He feeds it to Ross. Shoots the 3. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
0 for 3 now since halftime. Taking them a little while to find their rhythm.
There's a screen by Gortat. Gortat with a screen on Augustine. And Wall kicks to Morris. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. And now it's a 9-point Wizards lead.
Yet another easy make. They're really cooking now after making their 3rd straight shot to begin this half.
Outside Gordon. Fournier in the corner. 6 to shoot. Back to Gordon. Over Morris. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
They look a step slow on offense out there. Can't seem to pull the lid off that basket so far in this first half.
Wall's shot is good.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
The Magic trail by 12. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. And last season, Greg, you heard a lot of names brought up for most improved player in the league, and Otto Porter was one of them.
I mean, and I think for Porter, the change came when he just felt more comfortable from deep in terms of shooting. He always had a solid mid-range game, but now he looks comfortable from deep and has become one of the bigger threats we have in the league.
Look at John Wall. What a contribution so far.
Wow, it's time for them to switch up their defense on him because what they've been doing so far is not working.
And then for Washington, Oubre is checked in for Gortat. Jody Meeks comes in for Beal, and Satoransky is subbed in for John Wall. Pass to Isaac. He kicks to Mack. At the teardrop. Good work defensively by Morris.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own, I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
Here's Satoransky. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
The Magic again can't hit. Here's Washington. 11 unanswered points for him. Pass to Meeks. Nice ball movement by Washington. Here's Morris. And it falls over the rim and in. Morris has got 12 points in the game.
Wow, Morris has such a soft release. I mean, you love seeing the ball roll off his fingertips.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
You know, they used to say Markieff Morris was once a locker room distraction, but he's found a home here. He seems more at peace with the situation. He's putting up solid numbers at the forward spot.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. They set the pick. Here's Azania. He's guarded by Meeks. Kicks to Biam. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. We talked to Markieff Morris about those times in Phoenix. He and Coach Hornacek still talk as they went their separate ways. Seems it was just a bad situation for everyone.
Oh yeah, when you're on a sinking ship, everyone will lash out. I'm glad Morris has put that behind him. And able just to concentrate on playing basketball.
Chris, you've been on both sides of the coin for this. When it comes to a veteran presence in the locker room, just how important is that? You know, when you were a young player getting it, and maybe as an older player when you were preaching it.
When I was a rookie, Kevin, I needed a veteran just as much as I needed an assistant coach. They were that important to me because when you think about it, that's how you learn your routine.
Wow.
What to eat before a game, how many hours to eat before a game, how to recoup after a game, how to say no to your friends and family for playoff tickets because, you know, you're at home and you got to buy 75 tickets. You know, just kind of how to navigate through life. That veteran player can help. And I think that's one thing when the game kind of got lost in years past, it was because we lost that veteran presence in the locker room. And so to me, the veteran presence is everything. You know, Chris Mullin getting on me because I'm a rookie. I mean, I would have paid him to do that. So, you know, it's really cool because just as much as they get on you, they help you and they explain the game, help you out with life and everything else. So it's like a big brother relationship.
Oh, that's good to hear. Mack, the pass to Simmons. He dishes it to Biombo. There's a screen. 6 to shoot. Lasagna's shot is off.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And Satoransky kicks to Oubre. Passes it to Satoransky. Now the pass to Oubre. Morris a screen. Here's Satoransky. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Satoransky's got his second basket of the night. The Magic trail by 18. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. And Satoransky, a player who was drafted back in 2012, but then stashed in Europe as he developed his game.
Well, yeah, he's known for his strong work ethic, and it's a bit of a grinder for this team. He knew he had a lot of work ahead of him to adjust to the NBA. He's committed, though, to staying in the league. He's not thinking of returning to Europe.
Scotty's checked in for Washington. John Wall comes in for Satoransky. 1:43 left to play here in the third. And Mack kicks to Hezonja. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Washington leading now by 18. Over in the corner, Meeks. Back to Wall. To the left side wing. Shot clock at 6. Here's Morris. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
Look, you can't defend down low much better than that. Refuses to give him an easy path to the bucket.
But he stays with it.
He might not have the long range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Meeks on the wing. Guarded by Simmons. Scott kicks to Wall. Wizards passing it around. Morris with the screen for Wall. Off the pick. Buries the jump shot. Wall's got 19 points.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
11 feet away. Hezonja's shot is off. And it's Washington's ball. They're on a 19-3 run. Just his first attempt. A rebound by Hezonja. The Magic trail by 17. Here's Isaac. Good on the 13-footer. Isaac's got his first basket.
And Isaac has proven to be more than capable with his mid-range jump shot. He keeps it up high in the air so the defense doesn't really have a chance to disrupt his rhythm.
Wall, no luck. Hezonja. The shot that time, not on target. And so it's the Washington Wizards. Their lead at 15 going into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. Right back after this break. And meanwhile, Frank Vogel talking to his team.
Shrink the floor. When you're on the ball, or close it out. Close out faster. Okay, take away their airspace and then contain their drive.
And that's the catch-22 2 there. Frank Vogel wanting better perimeter defense, but also wanting to limit forays to the hoop.
Yeah, and it takes tremendous discipline to do that. Don't leave your feet, don't reach, and everyone help each other defensively.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. The big men are Gordon and Vucevic. Augustine and Fournier are in the backcourt, and it's Ross in at the 3 spot. That's who's out there for Orlando. Wall against Augustine, and the slam dunk by Wall.
Wall is a highly intelligent player. He sees the floor pretty well, sprinting to the cup with ease that time.
Vucevic, a screen on Wall. To the middle. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on Marcin Gortat. And Chris, you spent a handful of years in Washington. When you look back to that time in your career, is there a favorite moment that stands out to you?
Well, it was early in my career when I was with Washington, and I learned a lot about the league. And I think ending the Washington playoff drought that they had been in for so many years was part of the reason why I wanted to go there. And that was a lot of fun. Making my first All-Star team as well was pretty cool.
Free throw drops for Vucevic. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Oubre. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Bucket is good.
It's like Wall has a sixth sense of knowing when guys are open, outstanding to quickly getting them the ball.
Augustine dishes to Vucevic. They set the pick. Ross on the wing. In the corner, it's Gordon. Knocks down the 3 ball.
That's too much space to give him out there on the perimeter. They got to close out on him.
Wizards leading by 15. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Vucevic with the block. Ross against Porter. Augustine in the corner. Back to Ross. Gordon with no one around, and Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul.
Wow, he's really been dragging them down tonight.
And Washington making a change here. Morris is checked in. Wizards have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. There's a screen by Gortat. Vucevic with the block. And Gordon gets it to go in on the assist by Augustine.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Yeah, talent in this league has it so that now pretty much every team can push the pace. You have to get back on defense.
Beal against Fournier. Left side, Beal. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. A nice shot by Wall.
Wow, that's his 4th 3 of the game. 2 in each half. He has just owned that line.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. I think it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
Look at John Wall. What a contribution so far.
They got to start guarding him out to about 28 feet because he's killing them from long range.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Augustine passes to Gordon. Ross with it, now guarded by Porter. Ross kicks to Vucevic. Augustine from outside knocks down the three ball.
Look at this. I like this. Team basketball. Keeping the ball moving till they find the right shot.
Feeds to Beal. Back to Wall. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Gortat with the screen for Wall. And here's Morris for three. They grab their own miss. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
Well, look, the length of Gortat is just a problem for the defense. When he gets good position on them, they're going to have to resort to hacking. A lot of players who are the age of Gortat would have started to slow down a bit. He's bucking that trend and continues to produce well. A very steady presence for his team in the paint.
And he knocks down the first one. Chris with Gortat, as you mentioned, he's right up there in age, but he's still doing what he's done his whole career.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with just how efficient Gortat has been as a scorer his whole career. He knows exactly what he can do and can't do in the paint when he's facing up. He has a career field goal percentage that's around 55, but that's very strong numbers for him.
Good on both.
You know, for a while now, the Wizards felt that they are just one key piece away from being a major player in the East. And they've yet to find that player in free agency, but to their credit, they've tried a number of times.
Ross dishes to Gordon. Over Morris. And it's Gordon missing. Washington leading now by 15. Outside, Wall. There's a screen by Gortat. And Wall kicks to Porter. And good, coming off the assist by Wall. Wall's got his 3rd assist on the night. And with the Wizards and free agency, they missed out on Durant and Horford, to name a few.
And really, the last major signing they had was Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas. Unfortunately, the Wizards have had some bloated contracts on their books.
Ross with it, now guarded by Gortat. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Orlando needs to get off a shot. Gordon with another miss. Washington's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Beal with a screen on Augustine. Wall, that's good. Wall's got 26.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
And Augustine kicks to Gordon. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. The offensive rebound. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
He lives for these type of battles with the boards. It doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
One shot.
And Vucevic, no good on that. Washington leading now by 18. All with it. Outside, Porter. Beal against Fournier. Top of the key. Second shot opportunity. And Morris with the lay-in. And the Wizards lead by 20.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
That's why you can't let yourself get in this deep a hole. Very little time now to climb out.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 20. There's a minute 47 left in the fourth quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, John Wall.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Ross kicks to Fournier. Dishes it to Vucevic. The feed now to Augustine. Once again off the mark. Orlando.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the team, when he's ready to pull the trigger. And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Wizards.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this lost the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Wall.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And Augustine kicks to Ross. There's 31 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Fournier. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Marcin Gortat. And he can't get the first one. And the second free throw, good. And here are the Wizards now. They're on a 14-6 run. And Satoransky kicks to Oubre. Scott with a screen on Fournier. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. Here's Isaac. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. A resounding for them. And Greg and Enemy. All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it.
Yeah.